Hey, I'm busy waiting for something, so I thought I would talk about Dynasty Warriors 9. Obviously, it's such a touchy subject right now. Honestly, I felt like with all the positive stuff I've been saying about it and the gameplay and things that it's been making me a target for all these people that are going around and just hating on people for even remotely liking the game. I have to admit, a lot of the stuff that people are complaining about, it doesn't make sense. Like, for one thing, the grappling hook. I've seen so many people say that the grappling hook needs to be removed, and I wonder if those people have even finished a single character story, because the grappling hook is the only thing that would make that game tolerable. If you were trying to go for anything resembling, a complete save file, or even just finishing the game at all, it's something that needs to be there. Uh, I think that people just don't have self control when they play video games anymore. You put in something that's remotely abusable, and people just complain and they want it to be nerfed. And it's like, well, it's a single player game. It does not have any competitive element at all, unless you're doing like a V style action tournament with Dynasty Warriors 9, which is something that will probably happen at some point. But there's no like multiplayer or anything. The whole point is that the game has multiple ways to tackle situations. Like the bow is broken. Like I got like 25,000 hunting points for shooting a tiger in the ass for like 20 seconds. The bow will one shot pretty much anything. You can even get endgame gear by doing that to the bandits for a little bit. I think what the real issue is that the allies don't help. Something is wrong with the ally AI, and they don't actually help. It takes them forever to get to the gate, and they don't really help much when they get in there. I think that is something that they should address, because right now there's supposed to be like three main ways that you can deal with large battles. The first of which is the grappling hook. You can just go over there and kill the commander, which I don't know about you, but after 20 years of, well, almost 20 years of having to wait through a ton of message lag and deal with boneheaded AI just to go take out the commander, which you can easily do by yourself, I actually like that they have that approach in there. The other approach is stealth. You can use stealth, and you can use the arrows, and you can one-shot things way faster than you could by just going Rambo with the grappling hook. The third one is supposed to be getting your allies in there to help you. Now that is something that's fundamentally broken right now. I actually have waited a while for them to come in and break the gate and actually help me, and it doesn't seem like it ever actually happens. Like the game would be like 3 times longer if he did it that way. I think people are just, they don't understand that the game is supposed to have multiple ways to approach situations, and the grappling hook removes a lot of the padding. The game has a lot of padding to begin with. The open world is like 3 times bigger than it needs to be. Even if you have like a max horse, it takes forever to get to certain objectives. Also, the game has 90 characters, and a lot of them are going to be doing the same missions and the same battles over and over. It's nice that there is an option to just bypass a lot of the padding. I think that the game actually kind of set some new ground in terms of the open world and reducing a lot of said padding simply by having fast travel points pretty much anywhere. Even if you buy a lot of the hideaways or the hideouts, you can actually teleport to them regardless of whatever faction is in control of that area. So say you're playing as a Wu officer and Shu or Wei has control over that specific area. Even if they do and you can't fast travel to that place normally, if there's a hideaway there, you can actually teleport there regardless. I think it's cool that the game has a lot of features that reduce the padding. It's just that it takes too long to get places. There's not really a whole lot to do in the open world. I mean, according to this game, which is supposed to be at least partially historically accurate, this game only has like 3 animals, or China only has like 3 animals in it. I hope that people will put all the negativity beside them. They obviously have already done quite a bit of damage control. They said that they want to have more activities to do in the open world. They want to add more weapons. They finally admitted that the reason for all the clones is not historical inaccuracy. It's just because of the workload. I think that the game needs more moves, honestly. Some of the move sets can actually feel a little bit identical. There are a lot that play very differently, and there are some that play pretty much the same. I think that they could use more moves. Maybe they could have like another attack modifier, like maybe from a block you could have like a counter attack or something. Blocking seems kind of useless in this game. They give you so many other defensive options. I don't think I've ever blocked like a single attack in this game. Like you can easily just air dash away once or twice and be clear of pretty much any attack. I would like to see them add more moves, just more variety in general. There's not really much progression in terms of how you fight things. There's progression in terms of how you can modify the way that you fight things, but there's not any progression in terms of like your actual moveset. Like the combos that you do from level 1 to level 100 are pretty much the same. They're exactly the same outside of your personal skill. Like I didn't really have any opportunity to play this game before it came out. I had the early release copy from Koei. So obviously when I was playing at level 1, I was not as experienced as the stuff that I'm doing now, but your moveset does not progress or evolve at all. I think the game would be pretty terrible in its current state if they did stuff like lock away your current strings. I think they just need to expand on what's already there, like maybe give you string extensions or different moves or maybe different specials to choose from. I think that would help to reduce the monotony quite a bit. I'm about 50 hours into the game, and I have to admit the fatigue is setting in, and I've only tried like maybe a dozen or so move sets. Like there's a lot of repetition, which makes me question why people are complaining about stupid stuff like the grappling hook. Like there would be even more repetition, even more padding, and it would take even more time to unlock the characters that you actually want to use if the grappling hook was not there. I agree that the battles are pretty small scale. Like they're even if the allies did function as they're supposed to, like you would still be spending a lot of time waiting for them, and it would just make things take longer. Would make fatigue sit in a lot quicker. I think it's a shame that people are not thinking for themselves. You know, big YouTubers are regular people too. You know, they have opinions that people may not agree with, and it's just that their opinions are in the spotlight because they have hundreds of thousands of people watching them. But what's not okay is people accepting their opinions as gospel and just going around and harassing people who actually like the game. I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of haven't been commenting on this stuff too much. I haven't wanted that stuff on my channel. I have such a nice community, and you guys have helped me out so much. You know, I just got a Switch, 2 weeks ago, thanks to you guys. You know, I had to fund a pretty big chunk of that myself, but you guys were such a great help, and now I can give back. Obviously, Bayonetta 3 is on the way, and there's probably going to be some cool Muso games on there as well. I have Fire Emblem Muso, which I'm still working on. It's just a shame. A lot of these people harassing others for liking it haven't even played the game. They don't even have any intention of playing it. They aren't even Muso fans. Like, it doesn't even matter if you think the game looks bad. Like, you should at least try it. And either way, even if you don't like it, they shouldn't be harassing other people for liking it. I think there's been so much toxicity in this community lately, and it's a shame that the people that are getting the most attention are the ones that don't like it, or the ones that are stealing cutscenes from other people and just doing obvious clickbait. Like Swillow, Swillow has been putting out a lot of great content for this too. Like both of us have been kind of, I wouldn't say we've been on the defense force. We both have things that we strongly dislike about the game. I personally hate the open world. I hope that one of the things that they add is just, like I said in my overview, like a mode like Tokiden 2, where you can just get into a battle instantly and have it be instanced and have it be mostly the same, predetermined, pre-made. That would be great for exploring the combat further. We both have things that we strongly don't like about the game, but at the same time, we're trying to appreciate it for the good that it brings. I think the combat is the best it's been in any Muso game. I think it could use a little more variety. With how long you have to play as some characters, the moveset does get a little dry and stale because you don't really have any ways of interacting with it or making it different at all, aside from the elements, which don't really change things. The only ones that like drastically change things, I'd say, are the wind and the lightning, because the wind gives you higher attack speed, which allows you to chain things together. Depending on the moveset, it can actually make a pretty big difference. Then there's the lightning, which makes it so that you regen Muso, allows you to use Muso attacks more often. Muso attacks actually have longer hit stun on them, so you can chain things together easier that way as well. The other elements don't really change things that much, and I think that's something that they will need to address. One other thing that's missing in the game is the weapon gimmicks. I think the gimmicks for the last few weapons they made for 8XL, the DLC ones that they didn't really announce. I think that was a step in the right direction in terms of making the movesets more unique, and most of them were pretty good. Like the Mandarin duck hooks and the Sabatons were some of my favorites from that set of weapons. I would like to see them implement that as well. I don't know which three weapons they're going to use for the season pass, but I imagine they're probably going to be some of the ones that people have been the most upset about. The katana is gone, the tonfas are gone, Zhang Hei's claws. A lot of people have been predicting that those are going to be the characters that they declone first. I would like to see them implement more gimmicks. Maybe they could make like the reactive attack. Maybe they could have like some kind of modifier from that, like maybe from L1 and triangle. That could be like another unique move per character, and maybe they could start with these decloning damage control weapons that they're doing. I think that would give way more variety. Like honestly, when I started the game, I played as Cheng Pu because I thought it was cool that he's finally playable. That dude has been a generic officer for like 18 years. I thought it was cool that he's actually playable, and his moveset is actually quite fun. But at the same time, I had to play as him for like 9 chapters, and it got kind of old after a while. Like my moveset and the way that I was approaching combat was not really evolving or changing, aside from just my personal experience and growth in skill with the game. I think that's something that they'll need to address. In terms of the open world, I think maybe they could have like more powerful enemies, maybe more rewards tied to them. I think if they just dump a bunch more bandits and tigers across the map, and the rewards are the same ones that you can easily get in like an hour of grinding, then that's not going to solve anything. I would like to see them add more accessories. Like maybe they could make it so you could I don't know, maybe have more invincibility off dodges. Maybe they could make it so that you can chain things together easier. There are some weapons where you can, like Liu Bei's twin swords. You can pretty much chain all of his trigger attacks and flow attacks together. Maybe they could have more accessories like that. More accessories that actually change the way the game is played. Right now, the biggest ones are the ones that make it so that you don't stagger, and the ones that give you the more air dashes. Been talking too long. More air dashes. More things like that. More rewards for actually exploring the open world would be nice. Right now, the biggest reward you get is the fast travel points, which honestly does reduce a lot of the padding, but there's just not enough like events or things to do that you can't just run out of really quickly. Like the coins and stuff, you can fish for the coins in a couple minutes. If you spend like half an hour fishing, you can get like pretty much every rare weapon in the game. Same thing with a lot of the other accessories as well. And I like that there's ways to kind of accelerate things. I think what people are forgetting is that in a game with almost 100 characters, there need to be ways to accelerate the process, and that's why the grappling hook is there. That's why you can stack elements like crazy. That's why the gems are kind of overpowered. You can stack fire, and you can pretty much like just one combo kill anything. I think that those elements need to be in the game, and I think it's crazy that people are begging for it to be nerfed. It's like they want to get tired of the game and stop playing it. Like in a game, any kind of game that has such a long life expectancy in terms of how long you're going to play it, there need to be ways to accelerate the process. And I think it's crazy that I've seen some people say that I don't want to use fast travel. It's like, man, if you don't use fast travel in this game, it's going to take you like hundreds of hours to finish it. The world is just too big to be spending time doing stuff that makes things take longer. I think that, like I said, they should definitely make it so that the allies should be more of a help, and that's kind of one of the 3 approaches to situations that they need to work on. But I think people are really sleeping on the bow. We don't see too many people talking about how broken the bow is. Like you can go into a pack of like level 85 bandits level 1, and you can one-shot them and get a bunch of experience and the best drops in the game. Like, but yet all people are complaining about is the grappling hook. Like, oh, I could just go to the commander. It's like, I wonder if these people have even played any other Muso games. I can't count how many times like I've wanted to just go to a commander and just end the map instead of wait for a boneheaded generic officer to go over to the escort point or something and sit through 5 minutes of message lag. I think that's great that they've reduced the message lag considerably. It seems like they actually did plan for people to just go Rambo and go just take out the commander right away. Anyway, I just thought I'd post my thoughts in terms of myself playing it. It's not that I'm burnt out; it's that it seems like it's just messing with my computer. The game it just takes too many resources. I have tried a number of things, and they've helped to a certain extent, but at the same time, I don't really want my computer at max usage all the time, and I also have to worry about my temperatures as well. I'm sure if you've been following the PC market, you know that right now it's like a nightmare to build a PC or even upgrade like a single component of it due to the cryptocurrency craze. I know that apparently that's going to be fixed maybe sometime this year or early next year. I haven't been following it too much, but obviously this is like the worst time to have any kind of hardware or component failure. So the good news is that last night they announced that they are working on a PC patch. It's been about a week in the dark without them saying anything. They are working on that. They are going to add the Chinese voices back as well, which is too little too late. They should have talked about this stuff last week before their game got review bombed. But at least things are changing when they do, or if things are making progress. When they do push the patch in the event that it does make the game run better, I'll be playing it more. But for now, I'm probably going to be playing it sparingly for a while, unless I can get access to a friend's laptop or something. Maybe I can record on his next time I see him or something. But I do have a bunch of other stuff to play. I have Fire Emblem Muso. I just bought Gunvolt. I have all those ports. I have like another $15 on the eShop, so I might find another port or game to cover. So if you had a request, it is not that I'm ignoring it. It's not that I hate the game. It's not that I'm neglecting it or anything. It's just that I have to watch out for the security of my computer. I don't make much doing this. I make about $130 to $150 a month doing this, and I haven't had any Patreon backers in a while. That's one of the reasons why I pushed for the Switch this month, because I knew that I would not have another chance to get one anytime soon. I kind of have to make sure that all my equipment's working, because otherwise I'm going to have to do another donation drive, and I feel bad doing that kind of thing. I feel like you guys could spend money on a bigger YouTuber or something. But that's basically what's going on. That's my thoughts on Dynasty Warriors 9. I think that it does a lot right and it does a lot wrong. However, people are complaining about stuff that just makes no sense, like basically indirectly wanting more padding in the game and stuff like that. Like, the game already has tons of padding. I think that if it had any more padding, the game would be like borderline like intolerable to play. I hope that this whole thing will mull over. I hope that all these vultures and stuff will like cling on to another game and move on and just leave our community and stop with all the negativity and toxicity. It's kind of made me want to take a break from the community for a while, but I know that my videos have been doing well. They've been helping people, and I want to promote the good aspects of the game. So in the event that that patch comes soon, they did not announce any kind of release date. I will be playing the game far more often. For now, it's probably just going to be a few times a week and maybe for like little short bursts. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for understanding, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.